Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mechanical Anime Reviews podcast. My name is Scott, and I run the obviously named Mechanical Anime Reviews blog. With this episode, we are on episode 10, where I'm now into double digits. This podcast was an experiment in whether I could do these monthly, and it's generally been working, but for November and December, well, this is a podcast, and I just post it in between the holidays, because this entire month of December is going to be hectic. But keeping the podcast short has allowed me to churn these out once a month because it's just easy to do and it's just me doing it. So that's about it, really. Last month, we just did a quick review on Getter Robo Arc. This time, I will talk in small bits about conversation, a way that feels somewhat holiday-like in nature. You know, at least to me, considering that goodness of humanity, which is the theme of the holidays, for me, besides consumerism, is the point of it. These are going to be a bit about some microaggressions, but there's still small important things that can add tension in anime conversations anywhere. The first thing I want to mention is that we all kind of forget how popular that anime has been recently. We could talk about how most, if not all, streaming services want to have their hands into anime for one reason or another, especially Disney Plus with having Tatami Galaxy's sequel, which is a thing, but I mean, anime films started to become a mainstay in theaters through that events and G-Kids. So here's a question. Why are we acting like anime isn't popular at all or over the place? In this world where people wear Shonen Jump anime t-shirts and gear out in the open, people are wearing a specific brand of shirts for the anime that they like to watch. Is it because it wasn't before? Is that why we're not thinking it's popular? Is it because a lot of us lived in a time where so much of it was underground or we didn't want to tell our relatives about it? Have there ever been a lot of people stuck in their own time frame where they got into anime and haven't communicated with anime for a while? Is that kind of where it is too? Or some of us still stuck in a lot of different mind frames? I know that once again it's about shonen battle anime so far that's been doing a lot of legwork for lifting up anime in the community, but it has been raising all things. It's like all tides raise all boats in that kind of way, or whatever expression is. I'm bad with that one. And we could talk about like unspecific traits, while with how audience with Retro Crush and G-Kids rescuing older anime that hasn't been released in the United States for a while. That's kind of amazing. So yeah, anime has become a huge cotton industry in the United States, and we think in this time, place that could be a little more open in anime conversation. I mean, there has to be awareness back out who you talk about and what seems to be the case for that, but more people are anime fans than you think. You just aren't as obvious as wearing a t-shirt. Oh. And the last thing I want to discuss is like openly asking people if they have a specific anime or if they've seen it. So, you know, instead of just telling a person to watch something, maybe you should ask if they watched it first. I don't think people usually take another person's thought into account when it comes to that, but it sounds so bad and dismissive when they do it, whether it's online or through text. I mean, unless people have looked into another fan's AniList or my AniList or something similar to that, maybe don't do that. For example, do you think that everything in my review index on my blog is all that I watch? You'd be kind of wrong because I watch hundreds more than that. My AniList profile is generally public and I can link it if you want me to. I don't really hide it. So without people asking for anime recommendations, maybe don't say, watch this. Ask if the person in question has watched the anime first before you say, watch this. Maybe don't undermine the intelligence of the people you are talking to anime about. Like, create a conversation instead of forcing or shouting it in other people's faces. That's all. So yeah, notice that two conversations are connected to each other. Create conversation, don't hide or assume. That's about it. Thank you for listening to episode 10 of Mechanical Anime Reviews podcast. Once again, I'm Scott, and I run the blog called Mechanical Anime Reviews. You can find me on Twitter at MechAnimeReview. So thank you for listening today. See you guys next time for the mecha anime that came out in fall 2021. I think that should be a later one, considering that 86 has been delayed for time and time again, but we'll see what happens. See you guys then.